Hello, everyone. It's me again, Xeno. You're watching Color of Darkness, and we're back, as I said 2 weeks ago, reviewing another Bloodlines 2 Dev Diary. Latest news, Dev Diary 26, The Masquerade of Seattle. So I already looked at things we will be reading today, and there's some really interesting stuff. So allow us to delve deep into the dark streets of Seattle. Right. Hello, Kindred. Last time in Dev Diary 18, so a long time ago, building our Seattle, we walked through the streets of our Seattle, exploring its foundations and the world you'll navigate. Tonight, we're diving deeper into the city, its inhabitants, and the rules that keep everything in check. These rules, the Masquerade, aren't just a suggestion. They are the law. Break them, and you might find yourself on the wrong end of a court assassin's stake. Yep. So, a lot of people complained that there will be no Masquerade system in Vampire the Masquerade game. So I'm once again happy to prove by showing this to these people that they were wrong. And I like proving people wrong, and I'm very, very often right. Almost always, if not always. So yeah. We're starting with one of the videos. So there will be few of them, and they all are packed with interesting stuff. This one got to be one of my favorites here, so can you see it? You can. All right. All right. Damn it. Yep. So what did we saw here? We saw a lot of cool stuff. So obviously Fire is fighting with a police, the police, and they chose to use blood magic because why not? And obviously it breaks the Masquerade, right? So creating daggers out of your blood clearly is a supernatural phenomenon. So yeah, we dispose of these pesky mortals by shooting at them, and then we are staked through the heart. I doubt this kind of thing will happen every time we break the Masquerade, but I assume we'll read in a second that there will be a kind of a meter for the Masquerade, and when we break the Masquerade enough, a scourge, a sheriff, or a hound will be sent after us and stake us to do something. So that's very, very cool. The first tradition, the Masquerade. So this is a passage from the holiest of books, so Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition core book. Yeah. Thou shalt not reveal thine true nature to those not of the blood. Doing such shall renounce thy claims of blood. Yep. The first tradition is the only one universally respected. Mostly Sabbat. I mean, in V5 even Sabbat follows the Masquerade to some degree, but let's continue. But also the one that is broken most often. A sloppy feeding with witnesses, a vulgar display of undead might, a confession to a beloved mortal. These things happen, but kindred are expected to clean up after themselves. or there will be hell to pay. The crime world code, Snitches Get Stitches, doesn't even begin to describe how seriously both the Camarilla and the Anarchs take the Masquerade. In the age of YouTube, there's clickbait and fake news, a Masquerade breach is easily overlooked by the masses. Yep. But any transgression can end with a Black Ops team kicking in a heaven door. Only the craziest of K-Night superiority fanatics dream of an age where they can rule openly. The rest have faced reality, the undead fare better as parasitic powers behind the throne than as great predators of infernal lords of human dominion. That's true. Again, Sabbath doesn't really care about the Masquerade. They want to rule humanity openly, but they can't really, and at this point they are kind of weak. And so they too have to adhere to the Masquerade. Yeah. Which obviously doesn't prevent them from being absolute monsters and maniacs, of course. Next video. Alright, so we unlock Acidic Touch, an ability. I will be doing so much of this when I play. So yeah. Mortals run away. This one cowered in fear. We punched it, her, and she fell apart. Literally, Acidic Touch, as we can see here. When you kill a mortal by feeding on them, their corpse will dissolve, leaving no evidence. This and grammar error, I think. When you kill an enemy without the D, I think. I may be wrong, but you know, just pointing it out in case, just in case. But yeah, more importantly, we saw here Cauldron. No, this was Blood Curse, I think, making load. They have reaction, they run away. One of them stays afraid. We didn't exactly fed on them, so I'm not sure if that's how it's supposed to work. If you kill an enemy by feeding on them, their corpse will dissolve, leaving no evidence. Well, that's not exactly how you feed on someone. That's how you punch someone really hard in the face. But well, point being, Masquerade is important. So when you F up, you better clean after yourself. And acidic blood helps in that. Yeah. Masquerade mechanics. In the world of darkness, the Masquerade refers to the efforts made by kindred to conceal their existence from humanity to ensure their survival. Their secrecy is vital, as widespread knowledge of their existence would likely lead to a catastrophic response from humans, ultimately resulting in the destruction of kindred society. Most likely, yes. The Masquerade is enforced by the Camarilla, particularly in Seattle, under the authority of the sheriff. So at first, sheriff will be Benny, so the guy I don't like, that I love to hate, and then us, because fire will become the new sheriff. Why we don't know, and how we also don't know, but we will be the sheriff. Violations of the Masquerade, such as using supernatural abilities in public, are met with severe punishment, including exile or final death. Mostly final death. Mostly. In Bloodlines 2, you must maintain the Masquerade. Failure to do so will result in a swift stake through your heart. To help monitor your actions, there is a Masquerade meter at the top of the screen, consisting of two key parts. These parts being the eye symbol. If the eye is open, it indicates that someone is currently watching you. It's best to perform vampiric activities out of sight of human witnesses. Yes. And the second part, the bars around the eye. These bars fill up when you are caught committing acts that breach the Masquerade. The progression of the bars occurs in 3 stages. Upheld, so green, minor infractions such as being seen jumping abnormally high or running too fast. Avoid repeated minor breaches or the meter will advance to the next stage. Well, there are a lot of parkour guys and gals in Seattle, from what I heard, or that's just infamous second son speaking through me. But yeah, it's not really uncommon to see someone run. I mean, if you are faster than a speeding car, then it can be suspicious, but you know. Caution, orange, the second one. Triggered by excessive actions such as feeding, using violent abilities, or accumulating too many minor infractions. At this point, humans become suspicious. Sus. If someone witnesses your crime, they may report it to the police. You can deal with the witness directly or avoid the police. Using an ability to make witnesses forget what they saw can be an effective strategy. So, dominate. Or presence. Mostly dominate. Engaged, broken, red. At this stage, the police are actively pursuing you. You must break their line of sight immediately. If the meter fills completely, the Camarilla will take decisive action to end your activities swiftly and mercilessly. Maintaining the Masquerade is critical for survival in Bloodlines 2. Stay vigilant and avoid unnecessary risks to ensure you remain under the radar. Project Design Director J. Hicks. Yeah. So as I said, as I read also, we have a Masquerade meter, so an eye that shows us if someone is seeing us, if someone is a witness, and a 3-stage bar that indicates if we break the Masquerade. And this is perfectly shown here. Very loud. Okay, so we do something obviously unnatural. It fills up to orange. No one sees us. This guy was a witness and reports it, I think. And now we have to run away to avoid the police. Also the movement animations, parkour, it's awesome, really. And now we sneak. Now we sneaky. So it goes down, it's orange now. Alright. Green, so we're fine. Obviously, jumping from the building also could break the Masquerade, and surviving. Not surviving is the most common outcome, so don't do that. So yeah, the first video that we saw right here, we can see in this video the Masquerade meter up above, but doing something so obviously supernatural like using your blood magic to kill someone will send someone after us. Fire's job as sheriff. This will be interesting. As sheriff, the nomad, so Fire, again Fire is not the real name, it's a nickname, and Fire and nomad is a title. The nomad has a duty to keep the peace. That includes stamping down on any outside attempt to breach the Masquerade. With the card's control of the city in the jeopardy, other factions are starting to let the chaos bleed out from the alleyways and into the streets. The police, under the thumb of the Camarilla, are a reactive force, not preventative one, when it comes to kindred affairs. From a gang causing trouble in a graveyard to an outright assault on one of the city's most public places. Groups like the Anarchs can sense the rift among those in power and leap to action. Yeah. Throughout the journey of the nomad, the risk of exposure grows and grows. We wanted quests that take place in the city to feature bursts of violence and disorder that require the sheriff's undivided attention. Quick thinking will be required as much as discreet tactics. The nomad must restore order, outright crush the enemies of the court, and perhaps find new allies. Yep. Junior level designer Jack Goddard. Yep. So here we have another video showcasing what was described right here. So let's watch it. It's very loud. So we're walking across the streets. Graphics looks stunning. I will say that again because it's true. Something's happening. A shootout. Alright. So here we have kindred messing with each other, or perhaps a human gang or something. But if sheriff is in it, it's most likely either ghouls, thin-bloods, or anarchs. Alright. So we need to be careful. So that this is a ghoul, most likely, because we drink from the... Or an anarch, perhaps? I don't know. Alright. So yeah, we need to be careful what and how we do stuff. Districts of Seattle. So we have a little sneak peek of a map right here. Let's read first. Hey, Bloodlines fans, that's us. Let's talk about our Seattle. We've split it into 5 districts: Uptown, Downtown, Chinatown, Financial Town, and Industrial Town. That's how I will be calling them from now on, because it's funny. Each one has its own vibe, quirks, and dangers. This city doesn't sleep, and you'll be hunting at its heart. All districts connect into one seamless space. No unnecessary barriers in between them to break your immersion. So we won't have some little hubs like in the first Bloodlines. We have one giant map divided in 5 sectors. Kind of like in Prototype 2, I think it will be something like that. Maybe. Prototype 2 is a great game. It's off topic, but still very cool. Something like that, or just one full map to explore, which is cool. You're free to roam, stalk, and keep the Masquerade intact. From alleyways to rooftops, it's your playground or hunting ground. Just don't let the locals catch you doing something unsightly unless you want to be hunted by the authorities. Each district is distinct. Uptown and Financial Town have skyscrapers to trunk around, while downtown is packed tightly and alive. Chinatown glows with lanterns and secrets. Industrial Town is raw with warehouses and factories. Warehouses, you mean storage places or houses that turn into wolves at full moon? Oh, I'm so funny. These layouts shape your experience and strategy. So here we have a sneak peek at one part of the map. I'm assuming that's... I have no idea what it is. No idea. Let's continue. Key locations fit each distinct theme, from a shadowy pawn shop in downtown to a bustling nightclub in uptown. The deeper you get into the story, the more locations are revealed and open for you to explore, drawing you further into the city's secrets. And yes, there are familiar Seattle landmarks too. Well, I never was in Seattle, so I have no idea what landmarks are there. There is this funny big tower. Forgive me for not knowing how it's called, but that's what I know Seattle for. Yeah. But this isn't your postcard city. It's darker, tailored for vampires. Sorry, no Space Needle views. Unless you're looking for a long way down. Seattle's districts are more than a backdrop. They're alive. Hunt recklessly and you'll feel the heat. Play it safe. Play it too safe and you'll miss what's lurking. Balance is key in this city of shadows. See you out there. Lit environment artist Michael Genesis Isis. Yes. And this part is very, very cool, especially the video attached to it. Social feeding. So for those who were complaining, we haven't saw it yet, so here you go. We've touched on feeding in the city before, but what does that actually mean? As Fire, you'll have plenty of opportunities to feed, but within the city, feeding expands into a broader set of options. Let's explore them. One of these options is social feeding. This differs significantly from feeding in the heat of combat, where the act is often aggressive, violent, and purely a means to an end. Social feeding, on the other hand, is more intimate. It's an embrace rather than an attack. Not literal embrace as in turning someone to a vampire, but, embracing someone. Come here, let's have an intimate moment. Something like this. For me, it was important that social feeding felt distinct. Not only because it's generally more rewarding for Fire, but because it requires the player to consider who they target, where they strike, and how they go about it. These feats take longer and are more deliberate, and demand a careful approach. Indeed.
Why don't we go somewhere and work out for a bit?
So here we have a sexy lady. She's literally called sexy lady, as we can see. Here in the dialogue, sexy woman. So we seduced her, or perhaps paid her, pleasure vendors and stuff. and we lead her to a occupied alleyway. So this will be a Masquerade bridge, as we can see up, and we feed on her. And by that we break the Masquerade. Someone is running. We leave her. She's, she got dizzy from the bite. We can go now. So yeah, we got some EXP, and now we run from the police. They see us, they don't see us. Yep. So that's that. So she has a resonance, and as we can see here, after we feed on her, this was here. Yep, sanguine points, so sanguine resonance from her, because we made her horny. Yep. So that's social feeding. Really interesting, really cool. Since social feeding is both an embrace and a higher reward action, we always kept in mind the need for strategy, stalking prey, setting up the right situations, and most importantly, avoiding discovery. If a civilian catches you in the act, they will run to report you to the nearest police, which will lead to conflict and combat. Not to complain or something, but just because you got reported doesn't... Shouldn't the officer first, check that actually something happened, instead of just, pull a gun at you immediately? But I guess that's how it works here. It's fine. Resulting in reports with the often resulting in a breach of the Masquerade, which can quickly escalate into all-out violence. I really like the risk and reward system that social feeding offers, which you just don't get from combat feats. Indeed. Whilst there are many ways to manipulate the civilians of Seattle, conversation or raw intimidation, to name a few, I personally like to lean into my vampiric abilities to put civilians into a relaxed state where I can freely feed on them in a secluded alleyway. It's one of the perks of playing as a Ventro. So yeah, you can use disciplines socially. They are not purely meant for combat. They also have their social uses. Obviously, blowing someone up won't have a lot of social uses, but still. Speaking of alleyways, the Seattle of Bloodlines 2 isn't just a hunting ground. It's a city rich with personality, distinct districts, and a diverse population. As you explore, you'll come across different districts, each with its own unique feel, look, and feeding opportunities. Chinatown is bathed in neon lights, bustling with nightlife, while the financial district is a prime spot to find business professionals among the high rises. The homeless can be found in most districts, but downtown is home to entire encampments. Understanding where to find certain civilians can be key to mastering social feeding. After all, the tactics you use on bikers outside a bar will be very different from those you employ on shoppers in Uptown. True. Lead game designer Gavin Hood. And that's everything for now. We won't watch this one, I recommend you watching this one for yourself because it's half an hour long, and this video right now is half an hour long. So you watch that for yourself. It's really interesting. I watched it. You can see our favorite Mr. George and the whole amazing team from the Chinese room talking about environment art of Seattle. So a very interesting topic. I fully recommend it. And what's next for Bloodlines 2? Next Dev Diary, The Cast of Mortals. What it will be about? No idea. It's really enigmatic, but perhaps it will be on how humans, NPCs, work in our little playground called Seattle. So yeah, very interesting, very insightful Dev Diary right here, with a lot of showcasing with videos, which is cool. So we know about social feeding, about using disciplines in social feeding, about the masquerade systems, the consequences of breaking the masquerade. So a lot of very interesting stuff. Let me know what you guys think about this one. I will have so much fun breaking the masquerade. Oh, it will be so fun. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you again in 2 weeks, perhaps. Or earlier if something else will pop up, but till then, see ya.